Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual, guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. A lot is happening. And you guys are going to find today's video to be very interesting. So let's start with this. As European Union heads to Beijing in search of alternatives to EV tariffs, BYD profit tops Tesla's for the first time. You heard that right. The same BYD that Elon Musk was laughing at some years ago. Their profits now top Tesla's. Expect NIO profits to top BYD in the future as we blanket the entire planet. And NIO just added 12 more swap stations yet again yesterday. You heard that right. We're ramping up now to get ready for Envo and Firefly, and the partnerships are also going to come out with battery swap models next year. Also, with 2,417 supercharging stations, we're now up to 2,621 battery swap stations. We also increased our supercharging stations again, because remember, the partnerships is not just to help us with battery swapping, but also to help us ramp up with supercharging stations. We have now completed 56,581,000 plus swaps and counting. Whilst all of this is happening, NIO has recently been hiring in China to expand its Middle East team, offering positions at senior director and above, up to assistant vice president level, according to local media. NIO is reportedly hiring senior talent in China for its team in the Middle East, with vehicle deliveries there expected to begin within this year in the Middle East. Shanghai-based NIO recently began hiring to expand its Middle East team. And while all of this is happening, before I forget, let me say this. Beijing told its Chinese EV companies to hold off on building factories to expand in the EU in countries that have voted against China and has voted in favor of the tariffs. So that doesn't mean that they're not going to build factories in Europe, but it'll be probably in countries like Norway and other countries that did not vote in favor of the tariffs. But anyway, it says Shanghai-based NIO recently began hiring to expand its Middle East team, offering positions at the senior director level and above, up to assistant vice president level, local media outlet 21 Jingji said in a report late last night, citing multiple sources. NIO is looking to recruit talent in areas including vehicle manufacturing, core electrical systems, smart cockpit, and smart driving, according to the report. NIO is offering a salary that is essentially the same as that of a level 5 employee at home, but with a smaller remit than a home, said a source close to NIO Middle East operations, because they are going to be living outside of China. Recruiting the right talent is not easy, as candidates need to work overseas for long periods of time, the person said. In response to the report, NIO source said the company Middle East North Africa team and the local UAE team are already established and expanding, according to 21 Jingji. On October 5th, NIO announced the formation of NIO MENA with its Middle East backer, the Abu Dhabi-based CYVN Holdings, basically the Abu Dhabi government, unlimited money, a partnership that marks NIO's entry into the Middle East North Africa market. And I spoke about that as well, as we build that factory in Egypt to circumvent the tariffs in Europe. The UAE has been selected as the initial market for NIO MENA, and NIO and CYVN also plan to establish a research and development center in Abu Dhabi that will focus on autonomous driving and artificial intelligence. The company also plans to jointly develop an all-new model for the local market with CYVN, an all-new model. We spoke about it here on this channel before, guys. So it'll be something that the people in the Middle East and in North Africa love, possibly a pickup truck. NIO would begin deliveries in the UAE in the fourth quarter of this year, offering its full system of services to customers with the MENA region from the UAE. William Li founder, Emperor William Li, chairman and CEO of NIO, said at the time. The EV maker latest hire is for the Abu Dhabi Research and Development Center. This was their latest hire, according to the report yesterday. On the all-new model, NIO is responsible for the product definition and innovation of the car, as well as adapting the hardware and software on board to the requirements of its Middle Eastern backer. Because remember, whenever we build a product for a certain landscape, it goes in accordance to the landscape, the temperature, the people, the temperament, everything accordingly. A person close to NIO with knowledge of the matter told the local media outlet, the NIO ES8, which locally becomes the EL8, is already available for booking in the UAE. In November, the first NIO house in Abu Dhabi will officially open in November, and vehicle deliveries will begin in the fourth quarter, the report said. So a lot of you guys are probably saying, Mitch, you know, all this good stuff and the stock is still down. Well, one of my subscribers in Florida, Nick, I want to thank him for this article. It says Jeff Bezos, and this is what you all guys will find very interesting. I want to thank Nick in Florida for this. Jeff Bezos' letter to shareholders when Amazon stock was down 80%. So listen to this, guys. It says to our shareholders, ouch! It's been a brutal year for many in the capital markets and certainly for Amazon.com shareholders. As of the writing, our shares are down more than 80%. This was at that time. From when I wrote you last year, nevertheless, by almost any measure, Amazon.com, the company, is in a stronger position now than any time in the past. Does that sound familiar, guys? It continues. We served 20 million customers in 2000, up from 14 million in 1999. So from 14 million, they were serving 20 million, but yet they were down 80%. Sales grew to 2.6 billion in 2000 from 1.64 billion in 1999, but yet they were down 80%, the stock price. Pro forma operating loss in the US shrank to 2% of sales in the fourth quarter of 2000 from 24% of sales in the fourth quarter of 1999. Average spend per customer is 2000 was $134, up 19%. Gross profit grew to 656 million in 2000 from 291 million in 1999, up 125%, but yet the stock was down 80%. Almost 36% of fourth quarter 2000 US customers purchased from one of our non-BMV stores, such as electronics, tools, and kitchen. International sales grew to 381 million in 2000 from 168 million in 1999, but yet the stock was down 80%. We helped our partner Toys R Us.com sell more than $125 million of toys and video games in fourth quarter 2000. We ended 2000 with cash and marketable securities of 1.1 billion, up from 706 million at the end of 1999, thanks to our early 2000 Euro convent financing, but yet the stock was down 80%. And most importantly, our heads down focus on the customer was reflected in a score of 84 on the American Customer Satisfaction Index. Does all these things sound familiar to you guys? We are told this is the highest score ever recorded for a service company in any industry. Does that sound familiar to you guys? So if the company is better positioned today than it was a year ago, why is the stock price so much lower than it was a year ago? As the famed investor Benjamin Graham said, yes, the same Benjamin Graham who wrote that book that Warren Buffett read, in the short term, the stock market is a voting machine. In the long term, it's a weighing machine. Clearly, there was a lot of voting going on in the boom year of 1999 and much less weighing. We're a company that wants to be weighed, and over time, we will be over the long term. All companies are, and in the meantime, we have our heads down working to build a heavier and heavier company. Does that sound familiar to you guys? And I've said it before, Emperor Lee has his head bent and he just keeps working. Let the shorts have their fun. Remember, I've said this before, the huge institutions in America that are shorting NIO, they will make money. It's an uneducated investor who wouldn't know when to pull out and they will lose every penny. But while this is happening, just like the Amazon playbook, it's what NIO is doing. exactly the same. We just continue to work. And when we show profitability, shorts will be devastated and destroyed. Of course, like I said, the huge institutions will most likely know when it's coming. But the uneducated investor that are shorting it will lose every penny that they have earned so far from shorting it. So I hope you guys found this video to be informational, inspirational, and motivational on Thursday morning. If so, guys, do not forget to hit that thumbs up because it takes a lot of time to do these videos and the editing. And if you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so because in this channel, we're waking up the middle class for the first time to get a major piece of the pie from the ground up as to how the game is played. And like 50 said, we get rich or we die trying, guys.